You're than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap, and my name is XRP. To the moon. Yeah, I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. Bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked now. Bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked now. Bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked now. Bank the unbanked, now bank the unbanked. Yeah, everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap, and my name is XRP. I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap, and my name is XRP. Everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see.
Hello everyone, let's get started. I have no financial interests and no sponsored links. This is just for education. Maybe you have wondered about that intro picture, and let me show it again. The idea is to kind of mitigate a little your risk exposure. I'm still programming, it works already for a few months now very productively. A trading bot which sells and buys crypto on its own on certain parameters. Now, while I did some analysis, I figured there are certain parameters in the corners where I make a lot of profit. But if reality just deviates very little from that parameter I have set, the loss is also the highest. So what I'm trying to do is to adjust the parameters for my trading bot to come into an area where even if the reality is a little bit different than the parameters I have set, I'm still making a reasonable amount of profit. And the same basically methodology I'm now trying to give you a little bit an idea about the airdrop with Solo. Okay, so let's get started. First I want to quickly introduce again to the Ledger.exposed. For those who don't know yet, it's a website where you can, under rich list index, enter your amount of XRP. It's not what I have in XRP, it's just an example. And it will show you how many percent have more and how many percent have less XRP than you. And there is the rich list stats, that's the second page. And for this I actually made that Excel file which basically shows the same figures, but I did an average. Now in this column here, in the last but one column, I calculated the average. As you can see, the red area here and the blue come from the top, from the total bottom. So let's say you hold a little bit more than 100,000. That would mean that all these accounts share all these XRP. That means in average all these account holders have in average only less than 2000 XRP, which is not really much, as we have to say. In the last column I excluded the last two kind of areas, because the less than 20%, those like 500,000 accounts, they're basically most likely not active anymore, and the ones which have up to 500 XRP, those 2.4, that's actually the biggest part of all. Here the average rises a little bit, but even there, if you hold a little bit more than 100,000, you still have most likely 10 times more XRP than the average holder in the area from 500 XRP to 500 to 100,000. So that's an important thing to understand. Now back to Sologenic. There is this website, you will find this blog, you will find the link in the description of the video, and it talks about the airdrop, what the airdrop is, why they do it. Roughly speaking, I think I got the numbers correct. There exists already 400 million Solo, and they will be dropping 200 million additional Solo. Sorry, I need to open that one. So 200 million additional Solo will be dropped. Somewhere they write that 400 million exists. I don't know. Here, 400 million, and now they drop an additional 200 million. And then they give an example, but that's really just an example in this part. These 200 million additional Solo will be distributed equally. That's why it's divided by 2 among Solo holders and among XRP holders who participate in the airdrop. And I will tell you later on how to participate. Now in the example, there are users holding 20 million Solo who participate via their Solo holdings, and users who hold together 500 million XRP. We all know on Flare airdrop that figure was way higher. I think it was around, I don't know, 11 billion or so, I don't remember. It was way higher, and most likely this figure will also be higher, which basically means that you will not receive one Solo for 5 XRP, but maybe for 10 XRP only. So the relationship between holding Solo and holding XRP to receive Solo from the airdrop will get even worse. And how worse it is, how bad it is now already. If you receive 5 Solo per each Solo you hold, and you receive the other way around for 5 XRP 1 Solo, the ratio is 25. So, and I will explain that. Let me show that to you. I have created this table here, and here we can take a look at that. What I basically mean by that. This ratio between receiving Solo through XRP or through Solo itself is an important factor. It might be even worse than 25. Factor 25 might be 50 if way more users participate via XRP. That would basically mean that that it would be worth up to 50 times the price of XRP to buy Solo and participate via Solo on this Solo Airdrop. Okay? So if you did receive one Solo for one Solo and one Solo for one XRP, it wouldn't matter what you hold. If, however, you receive 5 times more Solo per each Solo you have, one Solo, to buy one Solo, you could pay even $4 when XRP is now $1, and you would still make 20% more through the airdrop, because you only receive one Solo for 5 XRP, maybe even less. That ratio gets even worse. But here in that table, we only talk about Solo. Let's say you start with 10 Solo. Price is now roughly $1. If you do nothing, end of January, 22nd of January, you will receive the Solo. I will later on show how you can request the claim for the airdrop, and that needs to be done by the 24th of December this year. If you do nothing and the price doesn't change, you still have $10 end of January. If the ratio is 4 to 1, you receive 4 Solo per each Solo you have, you will end up with 50 Solos. Even if the price drops to 80 cents, you will have $40 of value end of January, which will give you 300% profit. In the same example, ratio 4 to 1, you receive for each Solo you have 4 additional Solos, then you end up with 50 Solo. If the price goes up to $5, you made already $250. That's a 2,400% profit you'll be making. If you don't do anything and the price just goes up to $5, then your 10 Solos will be $50 worth. End of January, you made up 400%. If the price drops, and that's really the only kind of situation where you make a loss, if you have 10 Solo and the price drops now from that $1 back to 80 cents, then you make 20% loss. If the ratio is 1 to 1, say you receive 1 Solo per 1 Solo, you will double your 10 Solo to 20 Solo. If price goes to $5 by the time of the deadline or whenever, end of January, you will have $100 of worth, which will give you $900 of profit. In the same example, when the price goes up to $10, you will have $200 of worth end of January, and you will make 1,900% profit. If it goes to 20, and I told you if that ratio will be 25, it will still be worth at $20 to buy Solo. Then you will be making 3,900% profit until the end of January. If the ratio is 2.5 to 1, you receive 2.5 Solos per each Solo you have, and the price goes to $15. That's basically the area where I think we will end up. I don't think it will be 5 Solo per 1 Solo, I think it will be less. On the other hand, the price might not go so high until December, but in that case you still be making 5,150% profit. So that's quite huge, and compare that if we could add here XRP. Let's say you have 10,000 XRP, that would give you 10,000 in the example before through 5, that would give you 2,000 Solos at 50. Okay, that would also give you at 15, that would also give you quite some value in exchange, pending the fact that the is actually the same. But anyway, so let me go back to my website, to my browser, so that I have checked. Now, how do you get Solo? That's the important thing. Either via XRP, then you have to set the trust line, and in the description of the video you will find that link. Then you find Sologenic, you click this trust line, you come to the page from Sum, then you download the Sum app, import your XRP wallet. There I don't see any security problems there, because basically you're doing it just for like 5 minutes until you have the trust line set, and then you can get rid of that of your XRP wallet in the Sum app again. So you set up your wallet where you have your XRP, you open it via that link, you click send trust, you click confirm, you then scan the QR code with the app. On the Sum app it will tell you what it's going to do. You slide over to confirm. It will then set the trust line to the Sologenic whatever thingy, and that's basically it. And then you will receive, for whatever amount of XRP you hold on your account, on the 24th of December this year, an appropriate amount of Solo. Okay, now where's the catch? The catch is actually the Solo market is totally illiquid, and I can show that here on Solo USD. Tonight at around 1 o'clock, when the price was before like $1 roughly per Solo, a guy bought, sorry, I need to sneeze. No, I don't. Bought rough, it's just an estimate because I cannot see the volume here. I think he bought around 2,000 to 3,000 Solos, and for the last Solo he actually paid $4.30, which is quite a spread, a slippage as we call it. And that happened because he issued a market order. He said I want so many blah blah Solo, and then it went up and bought. And the reason for that, the Solo market is not really liquid. I checked before, I guess right now we can see here the spread. So the most expensive or the highest price for a buy order is 80 cents, 78 Solo. The next one is just willing to pay 45 cents for 300 Solo. On the upside, the first sell order, he wants $1.95. That's more than double this 1.15 factor from these 80 cents for his 312 Solo he wants to sell. I have entered an order here, almost 1,000 Solo for $6.70, which is just a little bit below these 2,000 from that guy who won $6.89, which basically means if someone wants to buy all these Solos here via US dollars, I will basically receive like almost a bit more than $7,000, which is actually quite good. And if there might be another idiot who will be doing that. So if you want to buy now, put low figures, just 200 Solo, 200 Solo, 200 Solo. Otherwise you end up paying really a high price. If however you decide to do a limit order, be aware of the fact that your order might not be executed at all, or after 24th of December. That's an illiquid market. Let's compare that with a liquid market. I have to reload because on Safari Bitstamp doesn't work anymore. We have currently a price from $1.20, almost 26. We can go down to $1 million on the ask side, and on the bid side it's almost at the same level now, where at $1.23.5. So it's $2.50 cents difference for the whole million XRP I would buy here. And the problem with Solo is it's not available. That's Solo. You cannot buy Solo on many exchanges. Basically, I would recommend Coinfield. I don't even know why it's not listed here. So I don't know how much volume Coinfield has. I have created an account on BitForex because they have by far the most liquid exchange or market, but it's still very low. I mean, 600,000 is nothing. When we check to see the volumes from the last month, it dropped. The price was dropping until around 28th of November, and there we had a volume of like less than $200,000, and then it was rising a little bit to almost a million almost every day. Not every day, but almost every day. And as soon as more people will get to know about that Solo Airdrop, more will jump on. The problem will be many will want to sell immediately, which will crash the price. Again, basically what we have seen here, as you can see, that one buy drove the price from $1 to $4, but then it crashed back down to $2. So that could happen, but even then you can make quite some money. But as I told you, just buy and sell small quantities, like 200 Solo at a time. In some moments even $200 Solo buying or selling is already too much for the liquidity they have. Yeah, that's basically it. Do you have any questions regarding that? If there are no questions, I mean, you can always ask me questions in the comments. By the way, on Twitter I have a new handle. It's now ipinky777. And thanks to Jack the Rippler, I received today about 200 more followers. I was down to 0 basically 2 weeks ago when I had to start afresh. Yeah. If there are no questions, I really wish you good health, stay healthy, take care, and always think to mitigate your risks. Do not aim for the highest profit, because the highest loss also lures around the corner. Try to aim somewhere in the middle where the profit is a little bit less, but the probability is higher that you will end up in profit. And the same is actually also true if you leverage your portfolio. Don't just buy like Shiba and Doge and stuff like that, which has zero utility. You might be lucky that you find one where you really end up in one of these dark green areas in the corner. But with a little bit bad luck, you end up at the side and basically lose all your money. Okay, with that I want to finish. Looking forward to your questions and comments on Twitter and in the comments of this video. Take care. Bye bye.
I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap, and my name is XRP.